our civic history, obviously our military history, but most especially the immigrant struggle here in Boston,
Yes.
that it represents for struggle for religious freedom and a coming of age in our nation. So it's a great symbol of unity, and it's a proud day despite the cold.
You know, one last thing. You last year gave us a great overview on the whole perspective with Evacuation Day and how that really is the roots of our kind of history with this parade, with this celebration. If you would, just gloss over that for us one more time here in terms of the history there.
Yeah, March 17, 1776. The British were evacuated out of Boston after a siege. You know, General at the time, the commander of the Continental Army, General George Washington, mounted cannons that were dragged from Fort Ticonderoga in upstate New York down what is basically the Mass Pike through the wintertime. General Henry Knox, probably the most impressive logistical feat in all of our military history at the time over Lake George, and repelled the British out of Boston that day to get inside the ranks. For all the men that were fighting on the side of the Revolution from all over New England, the countersign to get in the ranks was St. Patrick. So even George Washington, in some way, was celebrating St. Patrick's Day in 1776, and we've done so since, proudly bringing that American and Irish history together.
You know, I got to say, you do such a great job of telling this story every year. It's now become like by request. In fact, make sure you ask them about the Evacuation Day, because you just tell it with passion and knowledge, and it's great.
Thank you. I mean, we're honored to be host of that history here in South Boston at Dorchester Heights, and it's a privilege to be able to remind people of that history. The Citizens Association, South Boston Citizens Association, every year does that through a dozen of events to engage young children around the history there, and we had a great ceremony on the 17th up at the Heights.
Beautiful. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you
so much.
Don't forget to vote Ed Flynn City Council this November.
Happy
All right.
St. Patty's Day.
Thank you so
very
much.
Let's let you enjoy some of the band here. Next up to come through now, the Hallamore Crane and Rigging Clydesdale.